Exclusive stream. It's strange, I even invited him, I can't get into it. And strange. We are going to interpret today on Bybit. I'm going to turn on the screen demonstration now. And we will start trading right away. Something we have an alpaca there. Look, it's flying to the bottom. Wow, minus 50%. Without feeling the support has broken through, look. Beauty. Come on, admit it, who made millions here on alpaca? So, I see, our milk is being shirted. I gave it to the listing zone section, so it still had to be filled. In fact, it got stuck, I don't know. It only got into the spot, but it should be on the Mexc and futures. Futures on the Mexc will immediately give how many peaks could be taken here. 12 or 13% could be taken away. Funding is normal, the turnover is also normal. I wonder if the Bybit futures will be delivered or not. We don't have any pumps yet. So now we are going to follow something for the Mexc. No, the Mexc doesn't send me either. If someone has any coins, you can write them, we will also disassemble them. So, I'm not logged in here, but let's see. A new coin, as I understand it, yes. Something very strange is stirring up. In general, there should be such a local trading zone here. This one? I think it will definitely be more noticeable on the younger ones. Conditionally, plus there was this zone from below. The last levels were broken through from above. Here is the first stab, no. Not stabbed at the waist and another level here. In general, you can wait to break through these two levels and start watching the price. And so far it's dangerous with us too, yes. Recently, she flew into space. Apparently the feet are flying, because here is the level of 15 minutes. I'm here for another level, even 2. She collects them all like that, it's interesting. And this is also a beauty, you could probably even go into the breakouts, take at least 15% of the woman, yes. Tomorrow you shared. But we will definitely not consider the bank. Now we'll take a look at Lavisit too. Well, the Mexc worked fine yesterday. He came to the zone yesterday, the level there was still on the senior frame there now. This is the level where the coin broke through, came to the upper limit. Here, let's look at the details. But I'm looking at Zapampilas. Oh, Zapampilas in the opposite direction. It's a pity she collected the level here, and it's not far to her inclination. Protorgovka too may well fall to something, just the same to hit the slope. But we will definitely not consider the development of coins and Langi. That I will definitely not lang the market, in my opinion. Ideally it will reach the proto-trading zone, and the support zone, in fact. From there, you can continue to see how he will behave. That is, at least this zone is possible. We should also consider this consolidation, but I would not rely on it much. Plus, she has levels here, the upper limit can still work out, but the lower one I doubt it. I think it will break through and fly even lower. Maybe it will finally change its uptrend. How many days is growing? Funding is normal, by the way, the volumes are only high, 151 million. The zone yesterday that I was sitting here trading worked well, then it was necessary to work from it here. It was necessary to collect here, here there were many places where you could look, take it away. Or is there lava for Bybit? There is. And on Bybit only this. Spot, got it? So there should be several liquids on Mexc in general. 700,000 is not enough. And now I'm looking at these interesting zones. This zone, I don't know, the lower border has worked, probably, yes. Yes, you can say partially, but it's definitely impossible to trade because he's on a minute what's going on plus the volumes are too low. In general, an understated P can be tried, but it is very dangerous. I would wait for the levels to break through at least, and such a better deal will be here than here, because it flies, and it will be logical. That if it reaches from here somewhere, if it does not immediately break through the level, it will go back to the zone here. And can break through these levels. If it doesn't break through, it will go into correction, perhaps further leaving a level here, then these three levels. She will obviously easily collect them in the future, I think impulsively. That's the new coin, right? Now guys, we will definitely see everything according to the level it has struck, yes. They are in my opinion 1,000,007 like there was a volume or 3 million in volume, or 1 and 7 it was on the chalk. It is dangerous to consider this coin, because it was recently turned over, in fact yesterday. We ignore alpacas. I think there is such a local resistance zone here, plus or minus some liquidity, probably gathered from above. But here such a zone has formed. I don't know, on an understated one, you can certainly consider shorts, but it's very dangerous. It will be possible to consider either a return to this level or in support, depending on, so to speak, the mood of the coin, and how market makers will continue to pump money out of people. So if you don't trade it very carefully, I'll look here at the signal of our indicator. Yes. Cool, well done Lasta. So we watched the lava, and then set up the broccoli salts. It's like sitting on some kind of broadcast, I remember analyzing it, now we'll look at the schedule. 300 volumes is very bad. In general, here on the watch, the comb is stiff at all. This is exactly what to skip. Damn, you can't even adequately bring a zone here. Well, here this resistance zone could be considered. Well, yes, I worked out even the lower border here. Then the upper 2 times, now the shorts are leaving. Shorts plus cut levels. So bump is generally logical. Moreover, if it was possible to enter after breaking through this level, it was possible to take this movement here. Here 12% could be taken after this level was broken through. It was also possible to collect 5% from the lower border. It was possible to enter, take it. It doesn't work right now. 10% could be taken away, 11% could be taken away from the upper limit, and now 20% is at its peak. If someone does not know how to correctly find zones, levels on different coins, and quickly do it the most important thing, then I advise you to take our week-long training. If anyone is interested, you can write to the manager about this week's training. Now I will send you a link. I'll find it quickly. Now they are suffering well. I, so to speak, can't fly further to sit there. It's always necessary to look at the situation there. But in general, he still has this. Well, the Protorgovka was on the Fox, and it is certainly strange. Now she has this level, in fact, even to dense levels. Well, whether it will fly or not, I can't say for sure. He corrected himself into a whole logical zone here. Therefore, it's hard to say something so that it will fly, but it's hard to say. It can fall without any problems at all. Here's the next stop approximately can be here, because the Protorgovka was in front of the level as a whole. There may be support here, the next one as a goal, and then nail the bottom. And whether it will fly or not with a shield, I don't know, rather no than yes. I look at the alpaca, I decided to go in the opposite direction. Let's take a look. So, then we'll probably have broccoli there later. Yes, the alpaca just went down a lot. The last time I tested it like that, I stabbed support from the upper border, worked it out and saved it. By the way, I marked this zone for a very long time, so you could take it for yourself, redraw it and work with it. Here the stop is also logical. Here each stop has its own logic. One alpaca is being heated in the token indicator. So, Trollsol still. Trollsol, I'm not mistaken, recently flooded. There is no Bybit, and we impose a coin mem on the TX that has recently been leaked. This is very difficult to analyze. If the project is being pumped, it will certainly go higher there. Plus the volume of 13 million, I definitely did not go there. That is, they recently climbed, plus high volumes, plus I somehow don't like the schedule. It's kind of ragged. There, the comb is clean for a minute, for 5 minutes, well, for 5 minutes, it's not like that, of course. There are levels in general. Here. In general, now it can locally get stuck. After breaking through this level, it will start collecting liquidity here. It is likely that now if it starts collecting liquidity, it will collect it like this. I'll show you now. He will make a dam up. Perhaps he will go a little higher, because he often works out coins like that. Then he will go for correction. Dump, collect liquidity here, stop. In general, this zone can be singled out, which will prevent the next lion from collecting. So no. And this is what I wanted to take. It's also best to note this when the coin got into some kind of protergovka. That is, I would mark this zone here. That is, it will be hard for her to go down, because of this level. There may be a stabbing. But we still need to watch the coin. I wonder how she collects it. You can watch a little bit. So we also have ordinary broccoli, right? $2.5 million, there was a normal drop, they blocked it by 50%. In general, it is adequate, normal. What do we have? Wow! It will take 15 minutes for the upward movement, plus the tilt in which she hit. It is possible to work from this inclination. We have had a lot of training. Here we have two inclinations, that is, the situation is similar to an alpaca, yes. And the past times are like this, two levels, two lines on which you can work somehow. Is there any broccoli for Bybit? Interesting. Yes, these are just the ones that need broccoli. Let's observe. Veining is normal. There are also more revolutions here. By the way, there are 5 million on the Bybit. I'm going to think about going in from the tilt now. There's a question where to put it in the stop. Because she's looking about some kind of trader has become about this tilt. Plus stabbed. You can try to go 1% with the 10th shoulder, that is, in general, a straight understated rem. It is purely necessary to try to nail the incline. That is, without any fanaticism. Plus it will be possible to set if you still consider. Yes, and I see she's just trying to break through this inclination, in no way. Therefore, she is trading close to her, roughly speaking. They took a penny, a pump, and let's see. And yesterday I remember someone took a pump from us, and so decently took it away. So, there is a sneeze X on baby. Higher rate at the volume rate. So tolerant of the zone there is in general. I would like to note this zone somehow. It looks better than this lower one. It can also be viewed carefully, but we still have a zone here. Since looking at the level, it did not break through, or did it break through? No, it didn't strike. That is, it is quite likely that the penetration of this level can be considered from 0045 to short, of course. Ideally from the round number 005. From there, the shorts will be better in fact, and we have a lot of fall there, so it's pointless to watch. Yes, there was an impulsive approach to the purchase, but liquidity is not collected there. And she's been with us for a long time, hasn't she? Yes, a very old habit. It will be possible to break through this slope in order to approach this one, because it is more local than it is steep. So the alpaca as always flew in our indicators okay, so it's probably better to wait here, somehow carefully consider it here. I've just been banned. Something is going on and coming back. Strange. Plus Metronov is local about the trader here, and it became possible that he will draw the same picture down as he told you before. After the pump, the coin can stand up about the trader, give a small correction, and then go up. It is likely that when there is an approach here, perhaps closer to 10 million coins will be picked up, so be careful. But ideally, consider the penetration of the upper border, well, and the lower border can be tried to work out. The upper limit is quite likely to break through here. There are two levels. Yes, not stabbed. Therefore, I think it will be possible to collect some kind of local short from the lower border, ideally break through this one. To wait for this level, see how the whole price will lead there. Ideally, these two levels should be waited for, and in general, it will be possible to safely enter this zone from the lower border. I think even without any worries there, you will take the shorts there. Well, the miracle Udo. Broccoli. Her candles are very weak. Wow, someone got on their feet on forks, cool. But Hasika too. Oksana. Oh, Oksana, hi. Ilya played 700%, Cossack and Egger played 300% on tie. Wow, 500%. Tough guy. The troll worked something out there. A troll. Let's take a look. While there's broccoli. Yes, the volatility of broccoli is so-so. Very weak. It seems to be a huge squiz, but in fact nothing. Now let's see what the cables are there. He's done a lot of things here, hasn't he? While I'm not there. Oh, you. Yeah. There you go. It was possible, in fact, but he came to the bit with the volumes of norms. By the way, I worked very well, and came to the zone, and bounced back from there. And they did it with you live. Aha, we have a local Protergovka. I will certainly be dangerous to walk for 15 minutes. Yes, it's still very high. It has never really fallen from the listing yet. Are there levels on top? There is. And if I came in a little earlier, I think it would be possible to work out at the expense of this Protergovka here. It looks very interesting. Somewhere here it was possible to go in and take another 2%, but I was sitting in another coin. At the level he nailed himself like that, there are still 2 levels on top. That is, she can show the penetration of this zone. Wow, I worked out 3% of the troll sol very well, so I came to the zone where I marked perfectly. I gave a rebound from here. In other words, it is possible, roughly speaking, 2 sides will work. 5% of the peak could be taken away, and the same amount in the opposite direction. So we drove on according to your no, there is no indicator of one purchase yet, so we stopped at CheckX. In general, we collected it. Then the pump, and then we have flour. As far as I know, there is no. $20 million. Ugh, you are. Wow. Interesting level collected will not be able to mark normally. Here is a level, another level, which by the way did not break through initially. That is, here it is not broken through now. Or at point blank range. The price stopped here. Let's take a look now. Almost point blank. Right here is the pixel step of the price. That is, she had a very dense cascade here on the watch once and again, that is. But here the impulse was generally logical, that is, clearly a coin. Now let's see how she collected these levels. Of course, it's interesting to see for yourself. You see, I didn't follow the logic there. Well, it was illogical to go below at all. Even here there was consolidation. Alpaca again. So even on this impulse, I don't know. Well, in the worst case, it was probably possible to enter here, and at some point. It could be taken away 6%, it could be considered, then it could be punched. That is, if the TVX would be here, we would have here, the DVX would be under 112%, it would be possible. Alpaca again. FMI. Is it alpaca day today? Then, perhaps some zone was still there. By the way, the coin of the bottom is still somewhere very strong, but I have a forging zone. Well, yes, in general, a logical zone, but it also came, that's just the same, it was perfectly possible from the lower border. I incorrectly marked the lower border, even higher it is necessary here, so it's perfect, yes. That is, it was possible to work out here and collect such a short movement from the BERT zone. Now we smoke, then BERT. He also led 8% to short. Cool, according to the schedule, 17 million is already bad now. Almost 50% blocked, yes. It's already good. Therefore, it probably became about the trader. And then there's the zone that she stitched along the way. Now let's see if it was possible to work out or not. Here the zone immediately became in doubt because of the near level. I'll look again. Here the levels were like this, according to Pampai. I probably won't make any logical conclusion now. Well, if the correction continues, then it is possible to break through this level to this plus zone. The watchmaker has recently started. Let's see how she collects this level. On the clock, roughly speaking, we have 2 levels. So, the extra that we clean up. All in all, if this coin breaks through these levels, you can work out everything. Let's take a look. You can even try to view the shorts here somewhere from above. I think it will be possible to consider it in this zone. Here there is no pump on Babe, if I'm not mistaken, but I was relaxed here, a miracle, I don't understand. Such a simple pump. So now I'm going to go in quickly. So here's the broccoli in the process, overslept to beat on the room, right? Again, it has not been preserved, my God. So guys, if it's not going to be hard for you there, if it's going to break through, you can mark it for yourself. While I'm analyzing your coins there, can someone follow up with this, what we have open here? No, she didn't punch anything. Still silent near the level. They drove on Pompey. I would consider the shorts from here, but please be careful. A 5-minute comb like this plus 20 million turnover. At the expense of 20 million, there is a turnover. Perhaps there is liquidity here due to the fact that a lot of longs plus shorts can clearly reach this zone. Well, the edge here is possible that will prevent it from falling. This is this consolidation in front of such a big impulse and the profession of these two levels. Now I will more adequately mark it. In other words, this Protorgovka can prevent you from breaking through this level. In other words, it will even be possible to consider two goals. Somewhere here you can take a short, you can still consider the edge of averaging here, then it will definitely be closed. That is, the first goal will be possible to consider the lower limits here too. Sorry, I will have 20% on schedule. And here if you reach next to the lower limit of this, there is another 35%. That's it, let's go now for Shurimoka. I hope Ildis gave you an answer and an analysis. Yes, he does not want to in any way. So we still have a wet correction, and it will be possible. That's where there will be breaking during correction. If the level is at point-blank range, then you need to be more careful there. If suddenly Ma decides to tell the activity, then it should be borne in mind that we now have two levels like this from above, plus another one nearby. For the future, it is possible if they leave her alone. On the contrary, 17 million is bad. That is, it is better to be as careful as possible with her. Plus, I see we have a zone. Here it is still a beautiful ideal zone. That is, to break through these two levels, from the lower border, it will be possible to catch a reaction in the future. And collect some movement, plus it will be possible to collect movement again by breaking through this level. But this level is unlikely, but even if it is possible to consider after breaking through this level in this zone. That's it, wow, Nifiga here she shot. Notable. Everything is okay, I'll sell the roses, let's go bird. Now we'll sort it out with you. It's bad that 92 look, we once already bursting, let's take a look. Wow, terrible schedule. 3% is still very low volatility for the coin. This is absolutely impossible to enter at all. Categorically, I would even say. Personally, I wouldn't even consider it. By the way, here it was possible to work out all the same on the result. I don't know whether it was before or not. But still the penetration of the level from the lower border could be typed in different ways. It was possible to take, that is, it was possible to go beyond the lower P from the upper border. Then it was also possible to take 17%. Here again it was necessary to take away, here again it was possible to take away. The level is barely broken. That's the problem with liquid coins, that they can do such broken levels. That's it, this is the level stabbed from there. Well, I wouldn't go there, I'm unlikely to have collected 7% of the fighter, because it's a low liquid coin. It's very hard to trade in such. All right, Bert, there is an analysis firm above in general. You can take screenshots and redraw them for the future like this. So, we have everything according to coins. And there's nothing here. Let's not have Vic A, wink, let's not have logic less than Mikhail. That is, according to Bert, this level is no longer considered relevant. He sees how he just stabbed him, and here is an illiquid coin, and immediately you see some terrible graph. Some sharp, squizzy, incomprehensible. It's very hard to trade, impossible, I would say. That is, there is more of such a coin can easily fly into space of some kind, due to the fact that it has low liquidity. But if it starts collecting liquidity because of an empty glass, it will simply shoot up with huge impulses. There's a strange inclination here too. Wow, there are levels. There are levels for 15 minutes that can be punched from below, too. There are levels. Penina, by the way, that normal turnover too. Here are two more levels. There are mega hard to trade. You even know here, it's not that it's less technical, but because there, I don't know. You'll catch $10,000 worth of liquidation coins, and there it's your resistance zone. Oh my god. Now guys. Bybit is already tired of these jokes. Damn, I'm going to miss Rex for this, it will be a shame. 7.5 million forfeits. The level has been broken for 30 minutes or not broken. Punched yes. So, look above. And we are in the zone, by the way. Interesting. Here is the first zone. There is more above. At the top there are levels here, here and here is the level. I'm not going to mark them now. Okay, let's celebrate, while I'm still active there. Well, the edge would also consider this zone. Doubtful? You need to be more careful. Now I'll take a look at where we smoke it, here. Yes, I see she's having fun here for a minute. The chart is so terrible, the volatility is so weak, very, very weak. Most likely, this one can still be hidden from here. I don't want to go in because of this graph, plus see here the algorithms work. I have no confidence that this growth is about to be closed by some kind of adequate dump, and not the beginning of such an inadequate growth when the algorithm starts working. Because this algorithm may already be working quite well, which will collect these levels. I think there's an indicator there. By the way, I went even further, didn't I? Here it is with some impulses that they make it inadequate. An inadequate coin, plus the Muslim algorithm here offers to play a Mexc. So again. Is Muslim here? Will anyone see them? No. All right. Let's look at the indicator. Chaos seems to have flooded recently. There are a lot of coins now, I can't keep so much information in my head. Look, I would probably consider a short, but very neat. After breaking through the incline from there, you can try to pick up carefully, but I wouldn't sit for a long time. If it didn't go in your direction, and I would wait to break through these 3 levels at least. That is, the fixation after breaking through the first and second levels can already be considered and pulled. Until these levels are broken through. You can take a screenshot, redraw it yourself, and try to work it out. For some reason, I have doubts that it will work on this broadcast again. Alpaca. The alpaca is back. No, she saw even more, flew away. But here again, a logical stop on the trade line gave an impulse here. Wow. Here 48% could be taken away. Tin. Unexpectedly. Capits. Wow, on the Mexc, the bet is -1 and 8, and on this one on the Bybit, how much, I wonder? Did Fanning begin to fall after 1,000 years? No, it's the same on Bybit. But again my feeding was gone. Yes, this is of course strictly not allowed in my opinion. We came out of it with a drink down. Most likely it is necessary to see some kind of squiz or punch this. There is no minute better to look at the penetration of exactly this will be necessary, this. If there is no adequate movement here, then most likely you will need to expect this breakout. So, oh, Lena is doing X's here. 4 to transactions plus 10% of deposits. Wow. Cool. Good result. It's not a pack for me now, to be honest, it will start to annoy me. Because it is extremely impossible to work out such a thing. I don't know, there was some kind of bargaining for 5 minutes. Probably it will be possible to act somehow through a glass. Well, yes, it is. Like, you can definitely skip it, yes, even less than 1 million. The schedule is terrible, how much is there? A few hours for 2 hours in the sidewall it stood and judging by the avatar mem, yes. And now the level is likely to break through, look. Wow, yes you are, and I found out what kind of coins it is. This is the one that somehow incomprehensibly flew away with the quiz by 1,000%, right? 1,100 even. By the way, she's going to collect all the levels now. Well, in fact, we would have already collected a dump file. You can look at the analysis of the element. That was done at the beginning of the stream. At the beginning of the stream was. Well, while all sorts of logic is just stupidly corrected after the dump, everything is like broccoli does not want to fall there. Well, the coin also has a character in general, it can stand in a letter, this is the norm for it. I wonder what kind of inclinations it used to work out local. Let's have one tilt here, because I see it now. That's how with a drink came out, here is a tilt, here is this squiz Protergovka, that is, maybe this Protergovka. Maybe this Protergovka is here, the first squiz, Protergovka, and maybe it will be pushed to the end, we'll see. Ideally, this inclination should be kept until then. It's not hard. Let's see. Oh, and there are no futures. Solar offers the same thing, yes, interesting, I agree. Let's see. Wow. If this is a fundamental coin, judging by the volumes. Wow, that's effing. I believe there is some kind of fundamental behind the coin, if so, then it is pointless to analyze it here. It is unlikely to grow just like that. By the way, Mikhail earned money on the listing here. Cool. That we're going to have something besides broccoli. Here's the type, by the way. I broke through the level along the way. Look, 11% is interesting. Wow, on the alpaca, some liquidations fly to the type there. That is, after all, I did not tell about the level a type. But there is little collected on liquidity. So, at what level it is possible, he has already collected exactly. Plus this Protorgovka. Yes, I would because of that. Because of this candle, I would not consider it at all. Into space stupidly. With a wick? Nonsense. Yes, broccoli doesn't want that. Sept. By the way, we have another broadcast of the guys for today on the channel at dawn 1800 in Moscow. Anyone who wants can also come. There will also be a trading stream. Something we have hundreds of silence at lunch. Oh, but if you have silence, then I suggest ending this stream. In general, we have analyzed quite a lot of coins, and even worked out some of them. I'll tell you when I'm going to close the broccoli, and I'll throw off the panel for you. Although I don't like this sideways movement after all, so it would probably be better to just not follow this coin. It was low, the slope does not work out very badly, and works out. Therefore, it is better to be safe once again. The coin is half a pile disassembled, so you can. I'll post a recording of the broadcast, I'll send you a link, then a safe, let's take a look, and suddenly at the end of the broadcast. It turns out to go somewhere, right? So, I'm looking. Yeah, we're skipping because of the funding, unfortunately. So now it's definitely over. Thanks to everyone who came. If some coins will be worked out according to our analysis, which I did today, you can throw screenshots, write about it. Therefore, goodbye to everyone, have a good evening, bye to everyone. There will definitely be an entry.